Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 23rd August 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. So here I am taking around 10 articles in our today's session and I am going to analyze each and every article with a great detail. So wherever I am stressing the important words, so try to make a note of that words, and wherever the data is coming, try to note down the data. That will be very helpful to write your mains answers. Okay, so let us see the first article. So see the title, Bangladesh floods not due to Tripura dam, says Ministry of External Affairs. So what are the keywords? First one is Bangladesh floods and next one is Tripura dam. So let us see the keywords. So as I said, the keyword is Bangladesh floods and the second important keyword that is given in this title is Tripura dam. So here you can connect this topic from which subjects? It is talking about India-Bangladesh relations, that is from GS paper 2 IR, and it is talking about dam. Dam you will be studying in your geography, GS paper 1. In geography you will be studying about rivers and related dams. And next important topic you have to focus here is because of excessive rainfall. So now there is floods in eastern Bangladesh. So there again you have to study this phenomena of monsoons, how it is causing rainfall in this monsoon season. And next important thing you have to know is which are the rivers flowing between India and Bangladesh. So first you have to open your atlas and you have to see which are the states of India sharing boundary with this Bangladesh and how many rivers are flowing between India and Bangladesh, and you have to see what exactly this dam, on which river it is built. So in this way you will be getting questions in your prelims. So here the questions will be like, they will give you dam name and on another side they will give either state or either river which is present. Okay, I will show you the template. So here they will be giving you match the following like river, like 2 to 3 pairs, and one side you will be getting state where it is located, that is dam, and next one is you will be getting dam name, dam state where it is located on which river, and they will be asking you to identify which are the correct pairs and which are the incorrect pairs. So this is one of the most complicated question. You have to check river whether the dam is there or not, whether that dam is located in that state or not. So that's why you have to prepare notes like, if you're taking any river, okay, for example, you will be reading your river system. So in river system, we have two types of river system. So first one is Himalayan river system. Second one is Peninsula river system. So in this Himalayan, we have only 3 rivers. In this, Ganga and Bangladesh. In Peninsula, again, we will be dividing it into east flowing rivers and next one is west flowing rivers. So you have to take each and every river and you have to draw map, that is political map like states, and you have to see in which state it is flowing, and if there is any dam on that river, exactly you have to see on which state, in which state that dam is located. So in this way, if you are making notes, then you will be doing this type of questions correct. Okay. So let us see this article. So this article is saying that our Ministry of External Affairs clarified that the floods in eastern Bangladesh is not at all caused by dam. So the name of that dam is Dambur Dam. It is present on river Gumti. Okay, so this Dambur Dam, it is located in this Tripura, which is on this river Gumti. Okay, so actually, you know that India is sharing largest boundary with this Bangladesh, and even we are sharing more than 54 rivers between India and Bangladesh. So now my question is, what you are understanding from this article? So this article is saying that in Bangladesh protests are happening, and in this Bangladesh citizens, they are blaming India for flooding in eastern Bangladesh, and because of this now even we are having some security concerns on Indian High Commission. Now tell me, what are the points that you need to grasp from this article? Come on, think and tell me. What are the points? So first one here is there is flood misattribution. So actually between India and Bangladesh, there are many rivers that we are sharing. So here there is misunderstanding between India and Bangladesh that because of this dam, it is causing floods in Bangladesh. So there is lack of proper communication, and even there is lack of information about dam management and even weather impacts. So the first important point. And next one is there is shared responsibility. So whenever the rivers are flowing between two countries, it is a responsibility of those two countries regarding the proper management. So if those two countries are friendly countries, means they will be having obviously good cooperation. If those two countries are enemy countries, so there will be no proper cooperation. So we have to focus on the cooperation between India and Bangladesh, and we have to focus on bilateral agreements regarding water management and even disaster response. So this is the second and third point you have to focus, and these words that you have to catch. That is better communication, weather impacts, dam management, and water management, disaster response, bilateral agreement. So these are the key words that you need to write in your answer. And next one here is this floods, they are now caused in Bangladesh because of heavy rainfall in catchment area of this Gumti river. Okay. So for this we need to have proper weather forecasting and as well as proper weather monitoring system. And next one here is we have to focus on even security concerns, because whenever this Bangladesh citizens, they are doing protest, okay, then what happens? So there is also even security concerns which are raised for our Indian High Commission. So even we have to focus on this not going to be happen, like it's not should be going to create any geopolitical tension. So we should be very much careful about that as well. And next one here is we have to focus on real-time flood data with Bangladesh, so that what happens, based on the data they can take the actual steps. Okay. And next one here is what will be the impact of this flooding. Obviously, especially the people, loss of life will happen, sometimes loss of property and inundation, even spreading of communicable diseases. It also leads to environment disaster because it is causing harm to the biodiversity of that region, right? So these are the points that you need to get from this article. And how many rivers you are sharing between India and Bangladesh? It is 54 rivers. Okay, so here we need proper sustainable management, and even we have to go for proper dialogue and as well as technical discussions regarding how we have to manage this shared water between India and Bangladesh. Clear? So in this way you have to get only the crisps of that article. So that is not like you have to read each and every word and you have to read each and every word which is given in the newspaper in your answer. It is not like that. And say this article, no problem can be solved on battlefield, loss of innocent lives biggest challenge. So what does this article might be talking about? Huh? So you know that our Prime Minister, he is on visit to which country? Yes, Prime Minister visit to Poland. Yes. So in this visit, our Prime Minister made a statement. So whenever our Prime Minister, External Affairs Minister, Finance Minister making any statement, that statement is very important. Based on that, you can get mains question. Okay, so what our Prime Minister made a statement is, you know that in Russia, Ukraine, yes, war is going on, and Israel-Palestine issue is going on. So in this type of issues, whenever we are going for any warfare, okay, listen to this word, warfare. So whenever we are having any warfare, so here whatever the dispute we are having between the countries, whether this dispute is resolved, no. So there is no dispute resolution with this warfare. Okay. So so rather than this dispute settlements, what happens? There is loss of life. There is loss of life. That too, innocent people, they will lose life, no livelihood, etc. So apart from that, we can go for dialogue. Okay, we can go for dialogue and discussions to resolve that dispute. So this is a thing which mainly said by our Prime Minister. So where we can connect this topic? GS paper 2, international relations, and even GS paper 1 and 2, what will be the impact of warfare on society? Okay, impact of warfare on society. So these two things that you can take into consideration. So let us see this article in detail. Our Prime Minister, he emphasized that no conflict can be resolved through warfare. So rather than this resolving of dispute, it will lead to humanitarian crisis and human rights violation and loss of innocent lives. Okay, rather than warfare, if you want to really resolve the dispute, we can go for dialogue and as well as diplomacy. Okay, dialogue and diplomacy are the keywords. Okay, let us see the details. So here, by understanding the statement of Modi ji, we can understand that how can we go for conflict resolution. So Modi assertion and no problem can be solved in the battlefield reflects the growing global sentiment, and we are always seeking alternatives to this warfare. Okay, rather than this military solutions, we are focusing on diplomacy in international relations so that we can resolve the issue. But one question is persisting in me, but I am insisting not to tell that, but I am telling you. So across this LAC region, since 2020 onwards, we are having the issue, right? So military is occupying many areas of India, and even now also there are many areas like Demchok, Dipsang Valley and patrolling point 15, they are under control of China. So from 2020 onwards till now, we had more than 30 rounds of talks, diplomacy, everything. So what was the result? Is there a complete resolution? No. So here my question is, you have to take a balanced stand, because in interview panel can ask this question like, our government made this statement, what is your stand on this, whether it will be working or not. So in written you will be getting question like, yes, across this LAC also we are having this standoff from 2020 onwards. So from that time onwards, yes, we went for many rounds of talks, diplomacy, everything is going on, but is that issue resolved? So in that way they will be asking the questions to make you confused. So you should be having your own perspectives. So for that thing I'm saying. Okay. So here the second point you have to focus here is, whenever we are focusing on warfare, there will be loss of innocent lives. So because of this, we have to take some steps for humanitarian consideration so that we can resolve this conflict. And the next one here is, we have to take help of international collaborations. Like India is part of many regional groupings, many international groupings, and even we are having international conventions, international laws. By using them, yes, we can have multilateral cooperation of the different countries, we can use them so that we can address this global issues of common challenges. And next one here is, whenever we are moving forward with bilateral relations, bilateral means the relationship between the two countries, so we have to always focus on long-term planning. Okay, so here this is very important. Long-term planning is very important for crucial implementation of policies, and even we have to address the issues of both nations. And next one here is, we have to focus on global peace. Because of this Russia-Ukraine conflict had been more than 2 years, and now you can see in this Israel and Palestine also the issues is going on. So we have to take proper steps so that we can enforce the process of peace building, and even we can also stop the violation of human rights of the people. Okay, and actually now the problem here is, mainly the leaders, they are focusing on their territorial integrity and sovereignty. They are not taking care of human rights or people rights, etc. So here now there should be the shift of the mindset of leaders that your people are important. Okay, the people safety is important. And next one here is, what will be the consequence of war? So because of this war, what happens? There will be loss of life, property, what not, everything. So we need to have a proper humanitarian consequence of war. We have to understand that. So whenever we are understanding what will be the consequence of war, then we can try to limit that war to some extent. Okay, so these are the points you have to remember. And see this article, IIA finds a novel way to explore the sun's secrets by studying solar magnetic fields. So how many layers are there in sun, structure of sun? You have studied in geography. You have studied in, what are they? Coro, uh, 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 convention zone. Next, radiative zone. Very good. Okay, tell me in sun atmosphere how many layers are there? Sun atmosphere. Photosphere, chromosphere and solar winds. Right? Everything gone. Very good. Science and technology हो गया और geography भी हो गया. Okay. So here where we can connect this topic, it is about solar magnetic fields. So actually regarding the solar winds and solar flares, in 2023 you got question like what are the following impacts of solar winds and solar flares. So from that point of view, you have to prepare this kind of articles. Yes, tell me from which subjects we can deal with this? From GS paper 3, science and technology, and apart from that, even in geography, in universe topic, you will be studying about the sun in your solar system. So now let us see this article. So now astronomers from this IIA is Indian Institute of Astrophysics, they discovered a new method. So this new method is focusing on investigating the sun's secrets by examining the magnetic fields. So this magnetic fields, they are examining in the different layers of solar atmosphere. So in solar atmosphere, we have three layers: photosphere, chromosphere and solar winds. So in these layers, by identifying this magnetic fields, how they are different from one layer to another layer, so they are going to investigate the secrets of sun. So why we have to understand the secrets of sun? What is the importance? For what? For future, exactly, be specific. Why we need to know about our sun? So without sun, whether the life exists? No. Then why we need to know about sun? Online students and YouTube students. Why we need to know about the sun? So do research after this class and tell me your comments. Okay, so actually if they want to study something, they need to have the data, right? So here in this study, they are utilizing the data from Kodaikanal Tower Tunnel Telescope, and they are focusing on sunspots complex feature, and they are trying to understand the energy and mass transfer processes. So it is very helpful for studying of this corona heating problem and as well as solar wind. So tell me about what is a sunspots. So they are hot or cool? Sunspots, hot bodies or cool spots? Yes, cool. Comparatively, so in this sunspots will be having less temperature. So they are called as cool areas. So in this sunspots, they are trying to understand the energy and as well as how the mass is transferred from one atmosphere to another atmosphere, and how the impact is there on coronal heating, and as well as what is the impact on solar winds and solar flares. So this is about the study they are going to do. So here what can we understand from this article? That we are using some innovative techniques. So by using this innovative techniques, we can study magnetic fields, and we can understand that we are having some significant advancements in our solar research, and we are going to have some deeper insights into sun dynamics. Sun dynamics is very important. Without the sun, the life will not be exist on the earth. Okay, sun is the star where we will be receiving the light, and without the sunlight, even the photosynthesis cannot be happen on our earth, so that there is no possibility of oxygen, right? So here you have to understand what are the solar dynamics and sun dynamics. And next one here is layer interconnectivity. So even if you see in solar atmosphere, we have different layers like chromosphere, chromosphere, corona, and as well as some the different layers will be there. So what is the link between one layer to another layer? In some layers, we will be having very extreme temperature. In some layer, comparatively, some temperature will be less. So what is the reason behind this variation of temperature when you are moving from one layer to another layer? We need to know that. So if you know that, then we can understand like how solar winds and how the solar flares are impacting our whole universe. So we can understand that. And this one is we have to understand even the role of magnetic fields, because magnetic field is not just static. So even if you see the magnetic field, normally if you know the poles like North Pole and South Pole, so the shifting of the poles will happen, right? So here we can understand that this magnetic fields are not static; they are dynamic. So if you understand this magnetic field of sun, we can understand about the solar winds and as well as solar flares, how this coronal heating will be happening, how it is going to have the impact on the weather. And even they are going to understand about this complex sunspots, and actually these are very important, because these sunspots will be also having impact on the space weather and even on the earth. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember. And next, if you see about this layers, we have core, we have radiative zone, and we have convective zone, that is from the sun's interior. And in sun's atmosphere, we have photosphere, chromosphere, and corona. And in this corona, we will be having the solar wind and as well as solar flares. So what is this photosphere? So photosphere, it is like very uneven bright, which is the outer layer of the sun, and actually the temperature will be around 6000 degrees centigrade. And chromosphere is below this photosphere, we will be having a thin layer of this chromosphere, and temperature is comparatively cool, that is 4320 degrees centigrade. And if you see what is the solar wind, why we will be getting solar winds and solar flares? Come on, recall geography. So what is the reason behind this solar winds and solar flares? Come on. Reflection. What is that? Exactly. What is solar wind and solar flares? You completed universe. You completed geomorphology test also. You wrote a test of what? Universe, right? Then what happened? Even double revision happened in science and technology class also. Did sir explain about the solar wind? No? Now tell me, what is the solar wind? Very good, guys. Revise that topic, okay? See this article. Intriguing silence, India should switch to inactivated polio vaccine. So yesterday itself I said about polio, right? So what did I said in yesterday's class? Polio. So tell me from which subject you will be dealing with this polio? GS paper 3, science and technology. So polio, it is a disease caused by virus. So do you know the name of that virus? Poliomyelitis virus. Okay, name of that virus is poliomyelitis virus. So I will tell you the story. So what happened in Meghalaya? So actually India declared as a country which eradicated polio completely in year 2011 itself. But now recently in Meghalaya, one case of polio had been registered. So here, this registered case in Meghalaya is related to vaccine, okay, that is vaccine derived polio virus, VDPV. So what is this vaccine derived polio virus? You have to know about the vaccines which are available for polio. So for polio, we have two types of vaccines. One is oral polio vaccine and next one is IPV, inactivated polio vaccine. So what is oral polio vaccine? So you know that light color, pink color drops, only 2 drops will be added to your mouth. That too for the children who are less than 5 years of age, not for you guys. Okay. So here that is oral polio vaccines, and next one is IPV, means it is given by intravenous. To IV they will be giving this vaccine. So actually whenever we are taking this vaccine orally means it will be dropped into your mouth and that will be entering into your esophagus, stomach, intestines, right? So we will be getting, okay, so how these vaccines will work? Okay, I'll tell that concept, then you can understand this. So in this oral polio virus, so they will be adding the liquid, no, pink color drops. So they will be having polio virus itself, but it is very weak. Very weak polio virus will be there in that oral polio vaccine. In IV, which is given through IV, we will be having inactivated. That is, that polio is not activated. Just the particles of that virus will be there in that IV. Okay, so here whenever we are taking this vaccine through mouth, it will be enter into our esophagus, next stomach, and next it will be entering into our intestine. So this is the process where this oral polio vaccine will be going on. So it is having a very weak virus particles. So whenever this virus particles will be entering into our body, our immune system will be getting activated, and for this antigens, antibodies, okay, they are Y-shaped particles will be developed. Okay, so this is the process. So here whenever in this inactivated a polio virus which is given directly to the veins, okay, IV, so in the blood this antibodies will be get generated. But here in this oral, so this antibodies will be generated in your blood and also in your intestine part. In your intestine, in your blood, you will be having antibodies if you are taking this oral polio vaccine. And if you are taking this IPV, inactivated polio vaccine, here you will be having only antibodies in your blood, not in intestine. So which is more efficient? Oral polio vaccine, right? So what happened in Meghalaya is, so in a similar way, so that 2-year-old baby took this oral polio vaccine, so which is having weak polio virus. So that baby's immune system had not been get activated. So there is no produced of antibodies. So in return, what happened? So whatever these antigens or their virus particles, they got replicated and that caused polio. This is called as vaccine derived polio virus. So after taking vaccine, so that so and so guy, she got or he got this disease called as vaccine derived polio vaccine. So now what government is saying, or what is this article is saying, that rather than using this oral polio vaccine, we can go for inactivated polio vaccine. Okay, so that it is not having the power to replicate because it is having dead cells or the body particles of this virus, not entirely live attenuated polio virus. Clear? Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, let us see this article. The case of vaccine-derived polio virus has been confirmed in a 2-year-old child from Meghalaya. So, although polio had been declared eradicated in India 2011, now the emergence of vaccine-derived polio, it is happened in one immune deficient. That means that child, the immune system is not working properly. So, because of this, now this vaccine-derived polio case had been identified in Meghalaya. So what is this polio? Polio is also called as poliomyelitis, which is caused by poliomyelitis virus. And we are having 3 variants of this virus. First one is type 1, second is type 2, and second is type 3. So in India, we eradicated this type 1 and as well as type 3. And now vaccine derived polio virus had been identified. Okay. So actually here, while taking this oral polio vaccine, so why we are taking this? Because to reduce this cases of polio, but unfortunately we got this vaccine derived polio disease. Okay, approximately 1 in 2.7 million doses we can expect this kind of disease, because each and every person will be not having the same immune system or same enzymes or same activation or same working phenomena of our body. That you will be coming to know in that about the differences regarding the enzymes, chromosomes, everything in your anthropology. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said here. So what is oral polio vaccine? It is administered orally It induces immune system in both blood and as well as intestine. So it is having the dual immune system, so that it will be preventing the virus from spreading in communities. And even this oral polio vaccine is a very successful program of India. And in this inactivated polio vaccine, it is given via injection. It contains inactivated polio virus, so that cannot be replicated. So there is no chance of getting disease if you are taking this inactivated polio vaccine. But the efficiency is less compared to that of oral polio vaccine. Clear? Okay, let us see the next article, death at work. So in yesterday's class, what was the first article we discussed? Yeah, disaster management. Which disaster? Huh? Landslides. Very good. Next. Yes, chemical. Blast of nuclear reactor in pharmaceutical company in AP. Wow, you are following news. Very good. Great. Okay. So this article is talking about industrial accidents or industrial disaster. It is talking about industrial disaster. Okay, from which subject we can deal with this? GS paper 3, disaster management. Tell me the subjects at least. Come on, online students. Huh? Society, economy, everything. It will be easy, no? If I ask which article we discussed in yesterday class, you will be not saying. But if I say from which subject, you will be saying economy, science and technology, disaster management, society. Okay. Okay, let it be. So tell me, do you know any incidents of recent industrial disasters in AP? AP students, tell me. In Corona times, tell me. Sterilite disaster, Sterilite company disaster, do you know? Okay, so Sterilite company also one disaster which happened, and now the second disaster it is like nuclear burst. Okay, nuclear blast in this Essentia Pharma plant. So actually the parent plant or the parent body which is in US, and it is one of the branch in India. Okay. So how many deaths? 17 deaths, and many people they had been got injured. So tell me why this incident happened. What are the reasons behind this incident? And do you know how many people they are working in this? 1,000 to 5,000 people they are working in this single plant. It is that big. Now tell me. So because of safety system failure in this pharmaceutical company, that led to this recent blast. And even many a times in these companies which are dealing with chemicals or pharmaceuticals, they are not going for inspection. There are exemptions in inspections. So because of this, there is compromising on worker safety is happening. So because of this, this kind of incidents are increasing day by day. And next one is there is no proper awareness about the chemicals, how they have to handle them. And there is no proper training and skilling in this handling of chemicals. And even they don't adhere to the safety protocols that they need to follow. So these are the some important reasons. And do you know about this trade unions? For everything we will be having unions. For autos also we will be having unions. For workers we will be having unions. Now these workers, they are fighting for their worker safety rights. But there are some inbuilt problems in these trade unions, that is there is no proper regulations, there is no proper accountability measures. And next one here is even we need some reforms so that we can at least try to stop the future accidents. Okay, clear? And see this article, do we need a central law for protection of healthcare professionals? So recently, you know about this Arjikar incident. So apart from that, what happened? So many a times in news is you can see like attacking by the patients attendants on this staff, and as well as doctors will be happen if something is happening wrong, right? So have you seen that incidents? Like patients and the patient attendants, they will be attacking this hospital staff or doctors. Yes or no? Okay. So now this article is saying that we need central law. So even in this Kolkata, this incident happened, right? So where is this Kolkata located, in which state? In which state? West Bengal. So who is Chief Minister of West Bengal? So actually she wrote a letter to Prime Minister. Actually she wrote a letter to Prime Minister that we need to come up with a central law to prevent this kind of incidents in the future. So now tell me, what is your perspective, whether we need a central law or not? Because already states, they have their own laws. But now coming up with a central law is essential or not? If you're coming up with the central law, whether can we stop this kind of incidents in near future? Come on, tell me your perspectives. Online students, please do comment your ideas in the comment box. Don't forget. Whether can we stop this kind of incidents in the future if you are having a central law? Are you getting my question? Now tell me. Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? Mm. Okay, whatever the law, we need to go for proper implementation. Okay, first tell me whether we can come up with a central law or not. Manoj sir, you will be giving good ideas, tell me. Money? Yes or no? Okay, we can prevent to some extent. Okay, how? Ravi, tell me. Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? Venkatesh? At central level, we can come up with a unified law that can be implemented in each and every state equally. Uniform law. Hmm? Mm. Okay. Okay, think about this after this class and tell me. Okay, so this article is saying that following a tragic incident involving a trainee doctor rape and murder in Kolkata, so now here even West Bengal state government is asking center to come up with a center law to protect the healthcare professionals. It is very important now. So here, apart from this, even to protect healthcare workers, the states, they are having their own laws. But what are the problems in the state laws is inadequate healthcare funding, and there is no proper communication, and even the doctors, they are having overburdened with the work. So if you see the details, it is saying that yes, there is increasing of violence against healthcare. I'm not only talking about this rape and murder issue, but even patients and patient attendants, they are attacking the healthcare professionals. Okay, so that is the one important thing. That means you can understand that there is systemic failure in our healthcare delivery is happening. And next one is even there is very less funding in our health. So according to World Health Organization, it says that for every country, so what is GDP? Gross domestic product. What is the gross domestic product? The total value of final goods and services which are produced within a country within a year is called as GDP. So here for every country they have to spend 6% of the GDP on this health. But in India they are spending less than even 2%. That means far more less compared to that of standards. So it is also an important problem. Because of this we are not having proper adequate health care. Okay, so because of that the frustration in the people or the patients is also increasing day by day. And next one is there is no proper effective communication between doctors and patients. Okay, so because of improper communication, so here misunderstandings will be happens, especially during high stress situations. And if you see the working conditions for a doctor, so they have to work for long hours, and especially students who are doing as a trainee doctors, they have to spend day and night in the hospital. Okay, so because of this, what happened? Because of excessive work, they will be burning out, and that will lead to increased vulnerability of violence. So for this, we need to come with the reforms regarding working hours of a doctor. For example, for a pilot, he will be having this limitation on the flying hours. So why can't that we can implement in this doctors? Doctors also having the same life, right? So we need to get some reforms in this, and even we need to have a proper security protocols, especially regarding hospital protection, and we have to come with the committees, surveillance, and we have to ensure safe working environment in every place where women are involved. And next one here is, even we have to address the problem of mental health of the workers so that we can create some sustainable and effective healthcare system in our country. Okay, so these are the points that you have to know. And see this article, a look at ongoing Indian space missions. So what are the recent space missions that we discussed? EOS-8, Earth Observation Satellite, launched by SSLV, Small Satellite Launch Vehicle. Apart from that, so can you tell me some examples of space missions of India recently launched? Aditya L1. Next, we are going to Vikram S. Next, science and technology had been done, no? Next, Gaganyaan mission we are going to have, right? So you have to see what are the launches of India that happened in this year and near future, and you have to see like successful launch of SSLV. So you have to see launch vehicles, especially how many types of launch vehicles we have. First one is satellite launch vehicle. Next stage is augmented satellite launch vehicle. Next one is PSLV. Next one is GSLV. So you have to know what are the difference between all these four launch vehicles. And nowadays we are coming up with reusable launch vehicles. Okay, what is this reusable launch vehicles? So why, how can we use that launch vehicle again and again? So what will be the advantages? What are the technology we are using there? Okay, and which satellites had been launched by using this reusable launch vehicle? So you have to know all these things. You have to update with the current affairs. So that is the thing which is given here. And next one here is center states discuss new mechanism for gathering of crop data. So whether gathering of crop data is important for India. Why? Why we need to have this crop data? So actually government is implementing, note down this, digital general crop estimation survey, DGCES. So it is a central convened a national conference where the states they can discuss about the improvement in crop production statistics. So actually it is a very new initiative of central government. So the important aim of this NDGCES is to enhance accuracy and to increase reliability, transparency of agriculture statistics. So that will be very much helpful for policy implementation, and even it will be helpful for trade and as well as agriculture planning. So this paragraph is very important. So there is a high chance of getting question regarding this DGCES in your prelims. Okay, next one, see this article, NMDA to monitor 189 high-risk glacial lakes to prevent disaster. So what is this glacial lake? I said in the recent past. I think 3 to 4 days ago, we discussed one article which says, because of climate change, there is an increased risk of increasing of glacial lakes. Tell me now, what are these glacial lakes? So what are the lakes are there in glacier? It's called as glacial lakes. So why we have to monitor these glacial lakes? What will happen? Sea level increase. Next. So I'm particularly asking about these glacial lakes. So if you're not monitoring this glacial lake, so it may leads to glacial lake outburst flood. Okay. So because of this NMDA, what is NMDA? National Disaster Management Authority. So it is going to monitor this high risk glacial lakes. So you have to see what is the risk involved in these glacial lakes. So you have to at least know 4 to 4.5 points regarding that glacial lakes. And next, see this article, better reservoir levels may curb food inflation. What is this food inflation? What is meaning of inflation at least? Yeah, rise of price of goods and service in the market is called as inflation. Food means increasing of food prices. So How we can decrease the food prices? Whenever we are ensuring proper increasing of agricultural productivity, obviously we can decrease this food inflation, right? So now because of rainfall, because of erratic monsoons in some areas, now reservoirs had been having the good amount of water. That means we can ensure proper irrigation so that obviously the agricultural produce can be increased, so we can decrease food inflation. Clear? Yeah, so these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class and share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Academy.